So, how's my Premier League predictions doing? Hello everyone, this is Ellibod here. Welcome to the Ellibod Sports Network. And back at the beginning of the season I did a prediction of how I thought this season's Premier League would go. And things were about halfway through. Let's take a look at how we're doing. So let's put the prediction on your screen and look at how I'm doing. Remember, I am using a point system. I'm giving myself a 2-place caveat. If my prediction is spot on, I score 5 points. If my prediction is 1 place out, I score 3 points. If my prediction is 2 places out, I score 1 point. Anything further, it is an incorrect prediction. So I'm going to show you my predictions as we've got them, and then I'm going to be adding the differences. So if they've got a plus difference, they're doing better than I predicted. If they have a minus difference, they're doing worse than I predicted. And of course, if they have an equal sign next to them, I've got them spot on. So 20th, I have West Bromwich Albion. And well, they certainly are doing what I predicted they would do. They're not playing good football, yet at the moment they are in 19th instead of 20th. So 1 place out. So that's 3 points for me on the board. So already off to a pretty good start. Not a spot on start, but still I'll take it. 19th is I've got Brighton Hove Albion. I still stand by what I said in my original video. I don't think you're fielding players that are good enough for League One, let alone the Premier League. And I predicted you for 19th, and you are currently in 17th. So you're hovering above that that relegation zone. And again, I did say you may hover above it, but I still think you're going to start to drop. But you are within my 2-place caveat, only just, so 1 point. So 4 points off the bat. Not doing too badly. Remember, my target is 20 points. Let's see if I can keep it going, and I can't, because 18th, I predicted Newcastle. I predicted my team, and they are doing better than what I thought they would be doing. But still not going well. We did give Sheffield United their first victory of the season. It's always us. We were the only team that lost to Derby County in the 07-08 season. And we're now the only team to lose to Sheffield United in the Premier League this season. It's always Newcastle. Always Newcastle. But they are outside of my caveat, so I don't get any points there. But ultimately, I'm happy. Like I've mentioned, I hope this is one I do get wrong. And I hope Newcastle stay up. 17th, I went with Crystal Palace. And well, they are doing, again, they're doing better than I thought they were going to be doing. Then again, this season has been a very odd season, I must admit. I think that the effect of playing games in empty stadiums or nearly empty stadiums has had a knock-on effect to the players. And again, I'm amazed Wilfried Zaha is still at Palace, or is still at Palace at the time of this recording. But boy, Palace are an odd beast. But they are doing better than I predicted, so I can't really complain. Well, I can. I would personally prefer it if my lot, Newcastle, were above you, but you can't get everything you want. So in 16th, I went with Sheffield United, the first team that are doing worse than I predicted. halfway through the season to win a game. Again, I got into an argument with someone on the Sky Sports channel on the highlights of the Sheffield United games after their 15th game, and they had done worse after 15 games than Derby County did in the Premier League 07-08 after 15 games. And people keep on making this argument. I've heard everyone making it. I've heard Football Daily mention it. I've heard the Irish guy of HITC Sport mention it, saying that this Sheffield United side are not worse than Derby County because they're losing their games by 1 goal or sometimes 2. And no, that's irrelevant. What matters is points. And after 15 games, Sheffield United had 2 points. At that same stage in 07-08, Derby County had 4. So yeah, you were worse than Derby County. However, now you are ahead of Derby County's count from the 07-08 season. The thing now is you're going to need to keep it going. And sometimes you just need one win to spark a comeback. So it may end up happening. I mean, God, that would be a dream story, wouldn't it, if Sheffield United stayed up? But I wouldn't be putting a penny on it. My 15th place was Aston Villa. And yeah, well, definitely wrong on that one. They are doing currently 7 places better than I predicted. I predicted 15th. They are currently in 8th. So, yeah, Aston Villa got off to an amazing start this season. And, you know, once again, that important playmaker, Ireland's favourite son, Jack Grealish, is playing a big part in this Aston Villa team. And he's definitely picked up the spirits in Villa. I don't think they'll make it any higher than they are now. I think if they finish the season 8th, that would be an amazing accomplishment. But I don't think they'll go any higher than 8th. Like, I'll do a reaction at the end of the season as well, and I'll be confident that Aston Villa won't be higher than 8th. They may end up dropping back within my 2-place caveat. But we'll see what happens. My 14th place is Fulham, and oh boy, I predicted you for 14th, you're in the relegation zone. I thought that Fulham would want to try to avoid the humiliation of being back in that sort of scenario, and nope, they're straight back in it. Not showing any sort of fight, or very little fight, and it's not going to suffice. I mean, the last thing we need is another West Brom, i.e. a yo-yo club, jumping back and forth between Premier League and Championship over and over and over again. Then again, the Irish guy actually already said you're already a yo-yo club, so I guess you can regard his opinion more than mine. 13th. My 13th place, forever blowing bubbles, West Ham United. They are doing better than I predicted by 3 places. So just outside of my caveat. How many teams have I gone now without scoring a point? I'm still on 4 points and I'm almost halfway through the table, so I've got to try and pick this up. Aye. But yeah, West Ham under Moyes has been an unusual creature. I mean, David Moyes is a joke of a manager, and yet he's somehow picking up these good results. We're getting more of the David Moyes that was at Everton than the Moyes that was at Man United or Real Sociedad, or I think he was at the shit pit at one point. But yeah, Moyes has actually been doing a pretty decent job at West Ham this season. Finishing 10th, nothing to sneeze at for West Ham. 12th, I went with Burnley, and they're in the relegation battle. They are fighting to survive. Do not sack Sean Dyche. If there's any manager that's going to keep you up, it will be him. Changing style now is not going to work. You need to, again, I hate conservative style football that only plays to preserve points, but right now that's what Burnley need to do. They need to preserve what they have, and the only way to do that is to keep Dyche at the club and keep that no-nonsense defensive style. You just need, we're in the middle of the January transfer window at the moment, and there hasn't been a lot of big action, at least not yet. If Burnley got in the right sort of defence, they could stay up and maybe make it back to where they're within my caveat. And at the moment, I need teams within that caveat, because right now I've gone 6 teams, 7 teams without a point. And I'm going to go another one without a point because my 11th place is Southampton. And they are currently in 7th place. Again, they're doing better than I predicted, and that's... Again, I like to see teams do better than what people predict them to do, but... Again, Southampton have kind of been under the radar for me. I haven't really seen them do anything of amazement, excuse me. I haven't seen them do anything of amazement, but obviously, they're doing better than I predicted, so they're clearly doing something right. They just need to keep that sort of thing going. And if they can do that, then they won't make it into Europe this season. But if they can keep on with the momentum that they're on, then Europe next season might be a good thing for Southampton. So, my 10th place, finally, a team back within my 2-place caveat. Although they are doing worse than I predicted. They are currently in 12th when I predicted them for 10th, and that is Leeds. So, it's been shaky for Leeds this season, including an FA Cup upset. I have to call it that. I know Leeds didn't field their strongest team, but they still should have made it through that game. They should have made it past the 3rd round of the FA Cup easy, and they didn't. They got knocked out. I can't even remember the team that actually knocked them out. Was it Crawley or Chorley or something like that? But I think the main focus on the FA Cup was actually on Marine, I think they were called, against Tottenham Hotspur. There was a lot of fun around that game, even if it was a demolishment. But no, Leeds United have got to pick it up. They've got to recapture some of that magic they had in the Championship last season. They started off brilliantly and were aiming for Europe. They've got to try and recapture the magic of the Championship and start picking up big points against bigger teams. I mean, again, you don't want to end up spending 16 years trying to get back into the Prem, only to fall back into the Championship a season later. Pick it up, Leeds. Pick it up. That is within my 2-place caveat, so now I am at 5 points. Halfway through, and I'm only a quarter of the points I need to reach my target. Oh boy. And I'm going back to being outside of the caveat because 9th I went with Everton and they are in 5th. Yep. So Everton, very good start to the season. It may have looked like we were going to have 2 Merseyside teams competing for the title, and that would be a story of the 60s and 70s era, possibly even before that. But they have started to drop. They are still in with European competition, But they need to make sure they keep on scoring those results and not let silly results happen. I mean, the teams that are below them right now, or miles below them, they need to make sure that they beat them and not concede silly goals to them. Because otherwise, they're going to drop massively from 5th place. They need to keep this momentum going. Even though, they did have a rather embarrassing loss to West Ham, but they did pick it up with a 2-1 win over Wolves. But, there needs to be more convincing wins if Everton are going to keep this going. So now we've got a team that are doing a lot worse than I predicted them. I predicted Wolves for 8th, and they are 14th. This Wolves team are crumbling at the seams. It probably won't be long until we see Wolves relegated, if this sort of form continues. For Wolverhampton, they are going to be seeing a return to Championship football. Going 5 games now without a win, 2 draws and 3 losses. That's relegation form. You've got to pick it up with a win. Because otherwise, you'll be seeing the Championship. So, 7th. Finally back within the caveat. But also, they maybe would have been outside the caveat if the Irish guy didn't jinx them. He was talking about how Jose Mourinho is back. No, Jose never left. Nope, he's dipped in form again. Tottenham Hotspur, I predicted for 7th. They are currently in 6th. So, not a bad... Certainly not a bad position to be in. But the fact that you were top of the Premier League and now you've dipped so suddenly. A 6-1 win over Man United and now you've dropped so suddenly, I think is embarrassing. Again, I said in the previous one, I believe I said, but I think Mourinho may be past it. And it may be the case that, oh my god, I'm actually going to be right. It will depend on what happens with the League Cup, because I know that Tottenham are in the League Cup final against Manchester City. So, if Tottenham can win that, if Jose Mourinho can bring a trophy to Tottenham Hotspur, then the Irish guy may be right. But we'll have to wait and see. But they are within my caveat by 1 place, so 3 points on the board. Here we go, picking it up now. What have we got next? 6th place, Leicester. And they are currently, I predicted them for 6th, they're currently in 4th. Within my caveat again, 1 more point on the board for me. Leicester are a story of a team going from relegation to surviving to winning the Premier League, and they've been striving for those sort of positions since, trying to keep within that top 4, top 5 area, and they are doing just that. And it is impressive to see Leicester City's rise from potentially a yo-yo club to becoming a staple of the top of the Premier League. Seeing that is a really, really good thing. Yeah, it is just proof, this league is not dominated by 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 teams. Anyone can come up and get a shot. And Leicester are proof of that. So, and seeing that they're doing well this season as well, nothing to sneeze at. 1 point on the board for me on that one. But I'll tell you what is something to sneeze at. When you win the FA Cup and then end up with memes about you getting relegated. Arsenal. I predicted you for 5th. You're in 11th. What are you doing? What the fuck are you lot doing? This is embarrassing. You are Arsenal Football Club. You should not be having memes made about you, about winning a game against Doncaster in League 2. You should not be having memes saying when Arsenal get promoted back to the Premier League in 2036. Although I will admit the song in those memes is absolutely brilliant. You gotta pick it up, Arsenal. You've got Crystal Palace today, so you gotta pick it up. So, my top 4, how are they doing? 4th place, I went with Man United, and they are top. Man United, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, are top of the Prem. I don't even know what to make of that. You lost 6-1 to Tottenham Hotspur, and now you're top of the Prem. I haven't got words. You're outside of the caveat, so I don't score anything for it. Whew. I really don't even know what to make any longer of any of that. What to make of Man United being top of the Prem. So now 3rd place, and finally a correct position. I predicted Manchester City for 3rd place. They are currently in 3rd place. I said that this City team, even if they did or did not sign Lionel Messi, we're going to start to feel some of the pinch. And boy, this season they've been feeling the pinch. But they're still doing really well for that sort of feeling around the club. Currently in 3rd place. And now we go up a team, and I'm on a roll now. Liverpool I predicted for 2nd, and they're in 2nd. I said that Liverpool were going to be under pressure, and it wasn't gonna be a season where they would retain their title. So far, it is looking like that. They might still win their title. There's still a long way to go, and they are trying to keep it tight at the top, but they've got to keep that sort of thing going. Again, same case with Burnley. Don't sack Jurgen Klopp. He is your saviour right now. You sack him, you can say hello to a lower position in the Prem. He's going to keep you up in the top 4. Unlike the team I predicted to win the Premier League this season. And they are down in... They're down in 9th, Chelsea. Losing to teams you shouldn't be losing to. Stupid decisions at the back. A strike force that isn't delivering to its peak. This is embarrassing for Chelsea. There really isn't much else to say on that regard. You're doing 8 places worse than I predicted you. And just looking through my table of predictions, yeah, that is the biggest difference in my Premier League predictions so far. -8. You're doing 8 places worse. Right. So we add that all together, all the points I've collected, only getting 2 positions spot on. So far, I am on 19 points, if I've counted everything correctly. So I am 1 point off of the 20 points that my target is. So there could still be dips in form for teams like Crystal Palace or Everton or Southampton. And Sheffield United, you're going to need to pick it up now. You need to get some more wins under your belt. Leeds, start to pick it up. Wolves, the same with you lot. Pick up the wins. Arsenal, this is embarrassing. Where are the Gunners? Where are the proud Arsenal? Where's the proud Arsenal spirit? And Chelsea, I've already given up on you.